Greetings, sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. So, here is a nice piece of information, education, research for those critical thinkers out there and those looking to enact and strengthen, sharpen your discernment. So, this is dedicated to all of those folks that are now watching the Ego Bay, for those that know Pig Latin, the Ego Bay. I don't even know if I can call it shenanigans. But what you see happening on these new platforms that are continually popping up, as well as those that have been watching all the antics of the various different cults, especially those folks. If you've ever been a person that's yelling at the screen at the cult members, why don't they do this or that? If you're a person that perhaps might thinking that that could never be you, that you could never be fooled by someone trying to manipulate you into a cult. Well, this could be some very helpful information. So the link is there inside of the description box. The piece of research today is called The Cult of David Dobrik. Now, I've never heard of this gentleman. His face looks vaguely familiar. However, this is an excellent case study. And I invite you to keep your eyes peeled for the patterns, because once again, the patterns are 1000% consistent. And this can give you some insight into how perhaps all the folks that think you're just watching, you think you're just watching the cult, I think you're going to be surprised. I invite you to stay awake, perhaps get some tea, some watermelon or a kale salad, and to check out this piece of work. I think you're going to be very, very surprised. So again, it's called The Cult of David, D-A-V-I-D, Dobrik, D-O-B-R-I-K. Subtitle, How to Keep a Group Obedient. The channel is Psych IRL, and that's spelled P-S-Y-C-H, and then in uppercase I-R-L. So again, the link is right there. Do keep in mind there's a whole playlist of resources and information on this channel. This is not, I repeat, this is not, since day one, it has never been, this is not an entertainment channel, right? So I invite you to keep your thinking cap on. And I invite you to consider, it's long been said, if you want to hide something from someone, to put it in a book. So we know there's technology and things have morphed. And unfortunately, quite often we're very late to the game. By the time we figure it out, it's already advanced. So not only do you hide something in a book, that's kind of late. It's hidden right in front of your face. And you may be surprised how much all the people on these platforms, if you could see the patterns, just keep in mind, you may be already participating inside of the cult. Greetings. You may be participating in the cult without you even realizing it. So again, check out the link over there. Someone, I don't know, a new subscriber asked me a question. What do I think of a particular group? I'm not here to think for anyone. I'm not anyone's savior. I'm not here to ask for anyone's validation, any opinion. I've shared my personal experience. I'm not in the business of putting myself out there for folks that don't have a vested interest. There's so much information. Quite often we're asking, but we're not reading. It's going to require you take your time, pace yourself, research, and be a critical thinker. I invite you to press pause on your favorites, whether that's your favorite religion, spiritual icon, locks, vegan, paleo, celebrity. I invite you to press pause, turn down the volume, and peep the patterns in the behavior, and not to be swayed by the particular package. You will have to think for yourself. I am not in the business of telling grown folks what to do. It doesn't work. I'm not in that business. So, so a lot of stuff is hidden in the psychology. So I invite you to, rather than, this is independent of religion, of a cult, of any particular religious group or pseudo-spiritual group, political party. I invite you to press pause and peep the patterns. And if you have the capacity and if you take the time and if you can peep the patterns, you may be surprised at how most people that have been watching these happenings for months and the plethora, the myriad of cults. It's a pattern that's going on globally. It's not limited to the Afro community. It's happening globally. They have some distinct patterns. So again, I invite you to check out the link that's there. Also, the previous video, because I can't come in here all the time. There are some resources for alternatives to cults, right? The previous video has some recommendations for language. This all, if you have access to the internet, you can make this stuff available to yourself. Access for language, gardening, even if you feel like you have nothing, to start a garden, to do vertical gardening. There's some free resources there. There are also some resources for therapy, right? So if a lot of these things and trauma, if these things are handled, then perhaps you can head it off at the pass and not necessarily have to go into a cult for some basics like weight loss, working through your trauma, learning how to start a garden. You don't have to go to a cult. As I've said before, you can travel very safely, plan your trips, have some backup plans, and operate like mature adults and not be so open to allowing just anybody with good, with nice sounding words that you like, to have access to your psyche, your pocketbook, and your panties or your underwear. So with that being said, check it out. The link is right there in the description. Create a great day and keep your thinking caps on.